Here's Quanell X and Big Angry Adams, ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face Off on Fox Soul starts right now.
Out to Texas, where a bill that will require the 10 Commandments to be posted in every public school classroom in the state is one step closer now to becoming law. The Texas House passed the bill on Sunday after adding an amendment requiring the state, rather than school districts, pay to defend any legal challenges. The legislation now goes back to the Texas Senate for final approval before heading to Governor Greg Abbott's desk. He's expected to sign it. Louisiana and Arkansas have recently passed similar laws.
In this round, here's Quanell X.
So, Charles, it appears that the state of Texas is going to make it mandatory that they put the 10 Commandments in every classroom in America's public school system. And, Charles, I have to be honest with you, as a Muslim, I can agree with the 10 Commandments. I slightly disagree that you only will do the 10 Commandments and not do other tenets of faith where it can truly educate all children. It is showing a greater preference toward Christianity and not showing the same indifference toward other religions. But as a Muslim, I can celebrate, applaud, and uplift the 10 Commandments. I think every child should be taught the law of Moses, especially those commandments that teach thou shalt not kill. In a world that's plagued by violence and death, teach a child that thou shalt not bear false witness, not to lie on one another when people are running around telling lies on people and each other all day, every day, causing destruction of marriages, homes, families, and careers. I have no problem with a child learning that thou shalt honor no God but beside God and worship no other gods beside him. All that's beautiful. That's all through the law of Moses. What I do have a problem with, though, is find something specially unique of other faiths that unite all religions, not in name but in principle, because the 10 Commandments really is not about a religion. The 10 Commandments came from Jewish people and Judaism, but show that you can take something from all religions that's bigger than a title and the principles we can all hold on to. And the 10 Commandments are principles we should all adhere to.
So there are some important things to note. One, the amendment that they're discussing that will push back the cost onto the state away from the school districts is the Texas government, our government, knowingly enacting a law that they realize is going to lead to a tremendous amount of very expensive litigation defending the ability to pass or to maintain and enforce that statute. And what's going to be is a very simple Anti-Establishment Act clause, which is the part of our Bill of Rights, our United States Constitution, that forbids the government from establishing a preferred religion. Right? There are many people that say this is a Christian nation and suggest that America is a theocracy and was founded on beliefs. And people often refer to the Protestant work ethic, which really is not, it's not about faith as much as it's about having a work ethic of self-reliance. And
when did white folk have that work ethic?
I know I know you were gonna. The suggestion that the colonies that came to this country and worked themselves, it's absurd.
They had free labor.
Okay, some of them did, and there were abolitionist movements at the very inception.
They
of
wasn't
this country.
abolitionists when they got here.
Hold on, that's not true, right? But let's stay on topic. The problem is, as you said, saying, "Hey, we prefer Christianity." You know, obviously, that if you go back far enough, you can, the Book of Moses, it can be attributed to Judaism as well and other foundational. But the truth is, the Republicans in our great state are using it because of their desire for Christian theocracy, which is anti-American. Many of our founding fathers were deists, but they're all very, very clear that we don't have an established religion. Now, I think this pushback is a pushback to the left and the mainstream media, who has decided the only religion that you can talk ill of and make fun of was for a long time just Christians, and now it's obviously Christians and Jews. We have this tidal wave of anti-Semitism that's broken across America.
But there was anti-Muslim hate before anti-Semitism hate.
That is such an incredible myth. It is not Islamophobia.
Islamophobia is real in America.
No, it's not. When you talk about
anti-Semitism is real in America.
Or terrorism.
Religious bigotry is real in America.
You're not being Islamophobic, and that's the great lie of the Islamophobia, is that if you talk about terrible things that people do that are Muslim, you are, and they attribute their actions to their faith, which is overwhelming. We've got what, a 250,000 dead from just Islamist terror in what, the last 30 years?
No, that's an absolute lie.
I know you love to say it's a lie.
25 million people where? 25 million people where?
No, I said 250,000.
A quarter million. So
in the Western
250,000 people,
if you
right?
Go back to the Lockerbie bombing.
Where's this numbers?
Okay, there's
250,000.
Yes, but
I will say this: you've had more kids starved to death in Africa.
Okay. Okay.
And more have starved to death in Africa from starvation and famine and lack of medical care than Islamophobia's death.
What the Republicans are pushing back on is this tidal wave of anti-Christian sentiment that is being forced down everyone's throat. I personally take the view.
But those principles are righteous principles. The Ten Commandments are righteous principles.
But our Constitution defines a lot of righteous principles, and it's very clear on the anti-establishment clause, and we absolutely should not have it in a public school setting, especially after Texas is gutting funding.
But the Ten Commandments is not about religion.
It's absolutely
the Ten Commandments is about a way of life and lifestyle. It's about how you live according to righteous principles. Righteous principles are greater than a recognized religion.
Okay, so why couldn't you just put up the principles and not put up, have them as 10 commandments?
Well, that's what they are. They're the 10 commandments.
Okay.
You want to lie now? So what you going to do next? You're going to say the 10 commandments, but don't say Moses brought them? What you going to do next? Say Jesus, the gospel, but don't associate it with Jesus? You can't do that. Why are we going to disconnect from the very figure that brought us those righteous principles because somebody may be offended that that person was a part of a said religion? Look, I can respect principles of Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, because the principles are greater than the religion.
So you think in public schools they should pick one of all the religions you just listed? Because here's the real thing. You think these same Republicans, if they were going to put up
a Muslim
the
on
Quran
earth
or the Torah or
there's not a Muslim on earth that would object to the 10 Commandments.
Okay, I'm sure there are plenty
because
of Muslims
every Muslim
that will
should live by the 10 Commandments, and I am a Muslim.
When Islamist groups or Muslim groups file a lawsuit challenging the force feeding of the Christian religion to their children in public schools.
I don't think Muslims will really do that. You know who will do that?
Who?
Atheists.
Okay, but whoever
Satan worshipers. Because remember, it wasn't Muslims who took Christianity out of public schools. It was atheists who hated Christianity and hated said religion. And that lady right in Austin, who's now dead, won't even mention her name, she was the one that fought and led the charge to take religion out of school. It's not about religion. Take the word religion away from it. Take Christianity away from it. Take Islam away from it. It's about righteous principles, man.
It's at the firmament of the Christian faith.
The 10 Commandments was before Christianity.
I get you.
The 10 Commandments were before Christ Jesus.
But where do you find it? You find
it's
it
about
in the
righteous
Old Testament
principles
of the Christian Bible.
But you must remember.
You don't think these Republicans want it there because of its association with Christianity?
The gospel of Jesus Christ was never meant to be a religion.
Okay.
The gospel of Jesus was meant to be a lifestyle. The 10 Commandments should be a righteous man and woman's lifestyle, not a religion. So we can put religion to the side and we can salute the principles.
Okay, again, if it was just principles, it would be one thing. But when you tie it to a faith, which the 10 Commandments is absolutely, we can talk in nonsense and talk around the point, but it's absolutely seen as the bedrock of Christianity. It is being put on walls because of its association and relationship with the Christian faith. And my point is, our Constitution is very clear. And why would a state decide to enact legislation that they know is going to be probably successfully challenged?
Now, I agree with you.
And cost a bunch of millions of taxpayers' dollars
but
just to force feed Christianity.
That the Republicans,
now, I don't think we should have pride flags and other crap in there too. I think we should get back to teaching kids.
But I agree with you that the Republicans want to push a said religion for their own motivation. But I will say this to all Republicans. I find it very strange how you can love the 10 Commandments but hate your immigrant brothers and sisters who are coming across that border every day, when the very Bible you claim to love that produced the 10 Commandments said give them shelter, give them clothing, give them a place to stay, and help them. But you don't want to do a damn thing for the immigrants. You want to treat them like they're subhuman and that they're not Christian. And mainly every immigrant coming from Latin America claims the gospel of Jesus Christ as their faith. But you white Republicans don't see them as Christians, but at the same same time you claim you want to put the 10 Commandments in every school, why don't you put it in your damn hearts?
Well, I'm glad that you agree with me after all of that, but more importantly, here's the thing, right? There's no rational person that mistakes the modern Republican Party and its embrace of a variety of types of Christianity, that it's a sincere belief in religion. It is a mechanism used to convince lemmings, voters, to vote for one party. They use abortion as a cudgel. They use it, but it's not specific to the Christian faith. I mean, we can go to the Middle East and we see radical, violent, horrible people using the Muslim faith
of the religion
to
try
justify
to hijack
murder
the religion,
and killing and bombing,
and the murder of young
and
girls,
terrorism,
and refusing to educate young girls and teach them even how to read. And see, that's the
right.
problem. Most people don't understand. When you see places like Afghanistan and Sudan, where many of these, in Iran, some of these Muslim countries that won't, in Saudi Arabia, where a woman cannot even read, like Afghanistan, and in Saudi Arabia, where a woman can even own a business. Wait a minute. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his wife was a business owner, and he worked for his wife. So how in the hell can the prophet's wife have a career and a job outside the home, and then you claim in the very name of the religion he brought you that his wife and your wives now got to stay stuck in the house and can't be business women? In fact, the prophet said that any parent that teaches their child to read the Quran, that they assure themselves a place in heaven. But yet you want to say a woman should not learn how to read? You ass backwards Arabs who claim to love Islam, and you're not a part of what Muhammad brought into existence.
Well, you're kind of making my point for me. See, the thing about religion,
but that's a sect. That's not all.
Thing. It's subjective. All right, every major world religion has different sects, has some extremists, although I think Islam has a lot more than the rest of the religions. But you look at the Middle East and its oppression of women and its rape of women.
Look at America.
America, there's no relationship between America.
There's
a reason why people flee the Middle East to come to America.
Better
and
economic
it's Islamist
opportunities.
oppression. No, it's Islamist oppression. And of course, there's the ones that come here that want to recreate it here. But that is why we don't need religion being force-fed down student throats in public education. We are already diverting tax dollars to religious education. We're already doing all of this thing where we really should get, and I'll talk about this is the GOP pushing back. There's plenty of different mind cults on the left as well, right? We don't need the religion of gender identity, the religion of all of this agnostic and atheism that is being force-fed.
We were going to talk about.
We need to get back to teaching kids to read and write and do algebra. Period.
They have transgender reading hour in some of these schools, and where some of the material is so foul to where they're teaching elementary children.
There are not
in books and libraries.
There are not transgender foul language.
Excuse me.
Reading hour.
There
are inappropriate books that should not have been on
right here in
shelves.
Texas, they was having transgender reading hour, and was something were talking about how to use a condom, and they were telling young children in elementary school how to use condoms.
I disagree with force-feeding mindsets, whether it's religion or ideological.
Don't teach my elementary school daughter how to use a damn condom.
What we should get back to, right, is actually teaching kids knowledge and requiring them to pass tests. We have kids graduating high school that have never read a book.
Get rid of those tests.
We just saw
standardized testing should be done away with, period.
Absolutely not. You need a meritocracy. You need a measuring stick.
No,
you need kids
because people that's putting those tests together don't look like your children, don't have the cultural realities of your children, and they're biased when they design those tests. And we wonder why our children don't exceed as excellent as their children do when it was designed to benefit their children, not yours.
The truth about that is, if you look at the root of it, it is after centuries of forced illiteracy on Black Americans.
By white folks.
And then, yeah, I agree. But now you have this huge problem of when you see a Black family, you see how Nigerians are so successful, but you see an American Black family that reads to their children and encourages their children to read books at an early age, there is an absolute elimination in the achievement gap, an absolute elimination. because there's no race that's smarter than the other. What we have in America is we have too many people, and it's growing in other communities, but it's way outsized.
And now that's the secret you want to talk about.
Is that black kids are not reading,
Let me tell you something.
enough books or reading enough
The
books.
literacy rates are falling in every group in America, but fastest among black and white people and brown people. Let's be real. The foreigners are coming into America excelling more than white kids, black kids, and Latino kids in this
Schools
country.
should get back to teaching and not teaching religion.
Maybe we should learn something from those foreigners coming in, how we should teach our children, and our culture should change.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick during the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off
We are given the platform here with no fear.
always comes out
We
swinging.
should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And
Shut the
neighborhoods
hell
go,
up
you
and
interrupt
let
me all the
speak to my
time.
people.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Too, I don't have to just dominate in the paint. Atlanta coming off of back-to-back games, scoring 90-plus points, and Caitlin Clark can score with the best.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
Man, we're sure talking about the WNBA a lot, Quanell, which just shows you the magic of Caitlin Clark and how much attention she's brought to a league that has spent years struggling. But so last week, we were talking about how her team, Indiana, was being investigated because their fans were allegedly being racist towards Angel Reese after a hard foul and a call against Caitlin Clark and another player for a flagrant foul. And people were mad about it. And all the witnesses that I heard had said that they were chanting "the ball don't lie," which is not racial. It's something you hear at every professional basketball and college basketball games. And it refers to when someone gets a foul that people think is BS and then they miss the free throw, right? Angel Reese misses a whole bunch of shots, so I don't think it had to do with that. But there's no one saying specifically what pejorative was yelled, but there is all kind of news, all kind of pundit talking, and frankly, if it happened, it's despicable. I would find it hard to believe that a leftist basketball crowd that attends most WNBA games would be. I think Angel Reese manufactures a lot of stuff in her head, but well, I don't know. But what we do know is that Brittany Griner, from right here in Houston, Texas, one of the greatest female athletes of all time in this sport. She got put on the bench, and you can see very clearly, and I've heard some audio where you can make it out where she is saying effing, but saying the actual word white girl in referring to Caitlin Clark and her race in a pejorative manner. And if they're going to, and the WNBA is going to investigate alleged but non-specific racial, racist, that's a problem. I tried to dig. I couldn't find anyone saying what was heard or what was said in Indiana. But if they're going to investigate that, because Angel Reese has been put on a pedestal and she's got to be protected at all costs, and even though she says and does stuff that's unusual, because she clearly has a hatred for Caitlin Clark. But if they're going to do that, then it's only fair if another superstar refers to someone based on their race in a horrible manner, she gets investigated and fined as well.
You know, brothers and sisters, I hope you can see beyond the veneer. Charles spoke so beautiful and kind and angelic about Caitlin Clark. But when he spoke about Angel Reese, who really has nothing to do with this incident whatsoever, this is Brittany Griner's situation, but he demonized Angel Reese. And then when he spoke about Brittany Griner, he demonized her. See, brothers and sisters, what you got to realize is that this man is not naive. The story we both have before us speaks volumes about something of what took place. Allegedly, according to her own teammates who heard the comment, she said, "effing whack girl." Brittany Griner has admitted that she said, "effing whack girl." Her teammates said she said, "effing whack girl." Whack girl and white girl coming out the lips of somebody and you can't hear, but you're just trying to read the lips, could be misinterpreted. But the woman who's spearheading this charge against Miss Griner has always had an axe to grind against her, this conservative white woman who wrote this article for the Daily Mail. She's a conservative pundit who's always had a problem with Brittany Griner, and she's angry because America, the Biden administration, swapped her release from Russian prison for the merchant of death in an American prison. I too disagree with that swap, but this is an agenda that this woman who don't like Brittany Griner is using to justify her hate toward Brittany Griner. And why is it we don't give her teammates the benefit of the doubt if they're saying she said whack girl, Charles?
Okay, this actually emerged on social media at first. It got a lot of noise before it was started to be talked about in the news media, because that's how things work nowadays. But I've watched the video dozens of times. It is absolutely very clear that she is saying effing white girl, and it's fine, right? I get that your perception is always going to be skewed based on race.
So her teammates are liars?
Hold on.
So her teammates are liars?
I think good teammates cover for their teammates.
So you think her teammates are liars?
I think it's very clear what she says. It is very clearly racially driven. And I will tell you, like Angel Reese, I'm an LSU guy, huge fan of hers when she beat Iowa, a huge supporter. She is not playing well right now, and she is constantly airing grievances, pushing and shoving, and especially her sort of weird obsession with Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark's fame. It just seems strange. And I'm not going to be not critical of her simply because she played and was a star at the school that I love. She's doing very poorly. And her comment, the whole thing. But again, if there were racial pejoratives used at her,
sophomore season.
If there are racial pejoratives
every NBA player
at her,
has
there should be
a challenge and a learning curve. Sophomore season.
People should be banned from the game if there are racial pejoratives being hurled at her. My problem with that incident is no one's saying what the pejoratives were,
but
and no one's saying
her
they heard
teammates
it.
are saying she said
but
effing whack girl.
We can watch Brittany Griner make a racialized statement, and if we're going to investigate, when she says effing white girl, you are
teammates said whack girl.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher.
He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me?
Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that?
Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's put a ride home.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul. That's it for the Face-Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher.
He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me?
Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that?
Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's put a ride home.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love your mind.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's put a ride home.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher.
He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me?
Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that?
Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
Some people are turning to AI for help with multiple things, including their dating lives. Tonight on The Factor Uncensored, we ask if ChatGPT should be trusted with your personal romantic problems. Plus, Texas is hoping to rein in Hollywood. State lawmakers have given the green light for a new program that could help boost the film industry and production right here in our backyard.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
All righty, welcome to The Factor Uncensored, and thank you for joining us tonight. ChatGPT can be used for advice on many things out there, from beauty, finance, and maybe even help at work. But some folk out there are using it for help in their relationships, dating relationships. Could it be an alternative to therapy, Dr. Bell?